My coworker kept pestering me, so I slept with her son just to spite her. I, 33 male, work at a college. One of the higher-ups, let's call her Mommy,
Let's not call her Mommy.
has hated me since I was a student at that same college, and she keeps trying to find a reason to fire me. She constantly interrupts my classes, talks crap about me to her students during her own classes, talks trash about my exams, my teaching abilities, the success of my students, and worst of all, she lies about me to the chair of the department.
Not the chair.
No, it's just a room with a chair in it, and she just says, he's doing all of these terrible things.
And the chair just sits there like this.
As chairs do. In fact, it's been so bad that I've been applying to positions elsewhere, and I have a chance of getting a job at another college in a few months. Because I effing hate waking up every morning knowing I'll have to deal with her. By the way, this comes from a deleted user. If you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Savannah.
And I'm Sophia.
And someone's messing up back there. Get me back there.
No,
I'm
I'm
a
trying
good
to fix
producer.
your job.
And we are here to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. We only know what we would do, so let us know what you do down in the comments. And OP says, I also recently met her son, 30 male, Sonny, through Grindr.
I like the name Sonny. Sonny.
It's funny because your blanket is full of clouds, so you're cloudy. Anyway, we had several casual meetings, and by our third date, he shared just enough of his life for me to realize who he was. In fact, he started telling me about Mommy, and apparently, he hates Mommy more than Mommy hates me. So I felt encouraged to tell him I know her, and we spent hours talking about all the ways she's treated us like garbage. The worst thing she did was punt him out when he was 17 for being attracted to men as a man, and then begged him to come back and pretended she loved him while making his life miserable because his grandmother threatened to cut her out of the will. The thing is, Sonny and I kind of get along, but we're not really each other's type. We both agreed on that. Like, the spicy sleep is good, but the rest is, we have nothing in common.
I love that he's like, yeah, I don't know, we're not really each other's type. Like, we already slept together, but we're just not each other's type.
Yeah, we bang, but we don't bond, you know?
We bang, but there's no bond.
James Bond.
However, Sonny had this idea to pretend we're an actual couple just to spite her, and I like it. Sonny's birthday is coming up, and he's having a barbecue with his friends and family. So he wants me to come so that we can giggle and hold hands and kiss in front of Mommy. I told my girlfriends about it, like, haha, listen to this funny story, and they were all appalled. They said I was an a-hole, a pervert, petty, which I agree with that part, and that I have no moral compass. They said they'd be very, very, very disappointed in me if I went through with this, and to think of the rest of his family. I'm sorry, I don't think anyone's going to disintegrate if they see two gay guys kissing.
I am.
Well, we'll have to keep you safe. They've also been ignoring me on Messenger since last night, LOL. I honestly don't think it's that serious. I don't expect Mommy to get a heart attack and drop like a fly or anything. I only expect her to fume and feel humiliated while not being able to react in front of Grandma. Am I the a-hole because of it? No, this is awesome. I mean, what's up with your friends? They just, like, really respect authority. Like, she's not only a teacher, she's a mother. And how dare you mess with her?
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. She hates her gay son. What are you talking about? Who cares what's going on with her feelings?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Where's
want
her
her to
moral
be...
compass, huh?
I want her to be bothered. I would like her to be bothered. Anyway, there's an edit here. One of my girlfriends finally replied to my messages, and I very clearly explained to her that both Sonny and I are in on it, and that Mommy deserves even worse things. She said she misunderstood and thought I was using him, and her interpretation was confirmed by the other two girls freaking out and not letting me finish. Oh, I see why. Okay, so they weren't upset about the Mommy thing. They were upset that you're like, oh my God, you would like go out and like date this guy and like you're not really interested. And it's like, no, we're both not really interested. We bang. There's no bond.
Banging, yes. Bonding,
Although this seems like a bonding moment. You guys are both slam dunking on his money.
Slam dunking on his mommy.
I don't like the way
They're slamming and they're dunking.
I don't
And
like the way
they're-
that
but-
felt.
Still no bond. No bonding.
Also, apparently, one of the other two called me all kinds of names behind my back because she was bothered by me having spicy sleep with someone I'm not in a relationship with. Well, that's interesting. If she heard what kind of stuff I did when I was younger, she'd have to wash her ears with holy water. Anyway.
I think that's really funny to be like seemingly okay with your friend being gay, but you draw the line religiously with them having spicy sleep with someone who they're not in a relationship with.
Yeah.
You're like,
I don't
that's a sin.
I don't even know if
"Well,
that's like a religious thing. It feels like it's just like, that's not right. It's like you should be like committed to the person you're with.
Sounds like a lot of hoopla.
So yeah, it does sound like a lot of hoopla. OP continues. Anyway, that friend that reached out thinks I'm not the a-hole, so yay for that. And there is an update. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That really is the energy of this whole story, is it's just like, we're gonna make mommy uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't think you're crossing any lines here, man. So let's see. Let's see if you got a mission accomplished here. Update. All my friends but one are out of my life. Oh. She stayed friends with them and found out they don't have a problem with this incident as much as they do with me being on Grindr. Apparently, they find it gross that I have casual spicy times.
I mean,
Wow.
so you're mad at everyone on Earth then?
Yeah, that's a long list of people to be mad at.
So you hate everyone? Okay.
The job I had lined up will happen. I had a call with them, and they said they were considering 3 people, but I'm the most qualified, and they need to sort out some paperwork before they officially offer me the job. It's abroad. What's her name?
Wow. Wait, that was good. Very good.
Just eating chips into the mic right now?
I'm trying
You're
not
just
to.
eating chips into the mic?
I've been doing this.
Oh my god, okay.
I'm sparing everyone.
Before the party, I met Sonny's friends to solidify the idea that we're a couple. We had drinks and watched Game of Thrones at his place. At the party, I came with a big gift. I embraced and kissed Sonny, and he introduced me to everyone as his boyfriend. To Mommy, he said, "Mom, you already know OP from work, right? We're dating." She was quite obviously angry as all get out, and very badly pretended not to be. I smiled at her and shook her hand, and she just dumped her food and left us.
If I know anything about fake dating scenarios, they always end up dating.
It's true. You guys say that you have nothing in common, but you're both conspiring against his mother. That's something in common. I think y'all are bonding. You've done the banging, and now you're doing the bonding.
Uh-oh. That wasn't part of the deal here. This was bang no bond. Now we're
Supposed
bang
to have
and
no
bond?
attachments.
Granny arrived, and she was super excited to meet me. She asked if I met Mommy. I told her I already knew her from work, so she asked what she was like there, and I said something diplomatic like, "There are good times and bad times, just like at any job." I don't remember my exact words. She took my hand and told me I seem like a nice person, and that she's happy Sonny has me. Aw, Grandma! A good Grandma! I like Grandma.
Grandma said, "You know what? I know your mom's homophobic, but me, I'm with the times. I like it. Do it. Kiss right now. Kiss right now."
You guys can kiss as much as you want. I give you the free Grandma Kiss Pass. The FGKP. The free Grandma Kiss Pass.
Use it anytime your heart desires. You can use it up to 10 times. You get a punch card.
Order now. You can use it up to 10 times. Mommy was in the kitchen the rest of the party, avoiding everyone. I barely saw her again before she left. At work, she hasn't spoken to me. She usually starts pestering me with her BS on Monday at 8 o'clock in the morning, but she hasn't said a single word to me, nor has she looked at me. Several people noticed and asked me what was going on, and I said, I don't know. But I do know that you can listen to full episodes of stories like this on your favorite podcast platform like iHeartRadio or Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, and you can listen to all of our episodes whenever you want. And we have a little bit left of this story. Grandma has blessed your union.
Grandma has blessed your union.
And I think it means you guys have to stay.
Yeah.
So you got to stay in this.
Grandma said, "Hey, it's all good with me. It's all good in the hood, huh? And then mom's like,
Never. They're the devil's child.
and then grandma's like, I don't know. You guys can kiss if you want. Let me take a picture. All right, kiss. You can kiss up to 10 times.
I just like the image that like grandma's like so nice and happy, but then like her actual child is just like a demon. Just like, destroy them. I don't know. You do that voice so good.
Thanks.
Okay, let's finish it. Back to Saturday. After the party, I stayed to talk to Sonny alone. He didn't seem to be in a good mood, and I assumed it was because he expected a worse reaction from Mummy. But then he said he had something to tell me. Apparently, us meeting on Grindr wasn't a coincidence. He came across my profile by accident, but he recognized me from the staff photos from our college's website. He said he was very sorry. He didn't expect me to go with his plan at all. He initially just wanted to rant about his mother to someone who might understand. I guess I'm mostly okay with that, but I wish he had told me sooner. But then he also said he has feelings for me.
Shocker.
There it is. The bond.
There's the bond.
The bond is out in the open now.
We thought we weren't going to get it, but James Bond is here himself.
We spend so much time together. We text all the time. We have dinners. We sleep over. And it just happened. I get it. I'm not exactly cold as ice when it comes to him either. But still, I will be moving away in August. And there's the whole mommy situation. So yeah, I got not the a-hole last time, but I'm starting to feel like this is something I really didn't need in my life. And that's the end of that story. Dude, number one rule of life. Sometimes when you bang, you bond. Rule number one, a bang is a bond.
Nuh-uh, not always.
No, I guess you're right. Fine, whatever.
Don't put James Bond's name on that.
My bang is my bond.
The name's Bang.
Bond.
Bang Bond. Or Bond Bang?
Bang,
Would it
bang.
be Bond Bang? Bond,
Bond,
Bang?
Bond.
The name's Bond.
Let me
Bang,
get rid of these
Bond.
chips. I finished them.
You finished all the pickle chips?
There was like 5 handfuls left, and I
You
was just
ate
eating
them the whole
very slowly.
story.
Yeah, I was eating little bits slowly, and now I would like to lick my fingers, but
That's
I'm
disgusting.
not.
Go wash your hands.
Go wash them in.
I'm going to wash them, guys. Shut up. My boyfriend and roommate planned a surprise for me, and it's really shocking.
Okay, so they did a good job.
Okay, so as y'all know, this past weekend was Valentine's Day.
Oh, was it now?
I didn't know that. For the past month, me, female 24, and my roommate Jackie, female 25, have been arguing and butting heads because we live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and she just found out she was preggy and claims she doesn't know who the father is. Oh,
Whoa.
that is shocking.
What are you guys arguing about?
By the way, this comes from Beaches Be Bonkers 6. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. I'm Savannah.
I'm Dakota.
And I'm Sophia.
And we are here to give some good advice goofily. Yet we do not have all of these big answers. We would only know what we would do in this small situation. But let us know what you would do down in the big comment section. Thank you. As OP says, she basically wants me to either move out or room in the living room until I can afford to move out. We have lived together for 3 years. She's best friends with my stepsister, female 26. We're not super close, not best friends, but we were close enough to move in together, if you get the idea.
Yeah, so you were friends.
Yeah, so got it.
I've got that idea locked in.
So this past Thursday, I got home early from work, and when I walked in, I was just settling down, about to make something to eat, when I see my boyfriend walking toward the door like he's about to leave the apartment. I say, Jaden, male 25, and ask what he's doing there, since I had just spoken to him and he said he was on his way to work. He works on the opposite side of town, so he would have no reason to be on this side of town unless he was seeing me. He quickly stops and goes, oh, hey, babe, and tries to hug me. And I go, what are you doing here?
And I go, what are you doing here? The Californians? Really? Nothing? I'm going home, guys. I'm going home.
You do know the Californian, Savannah. That's what Greg's first sketch was based off of.
I'm going home, guys.
It was based off of something? I thought you just made that up.
Yes. No.
Of course it's based off of something. Greg just copyrights everything. He does. And I'll say it to his face.
I feel like my walk-off was
Dismissed? Yeah, it was.
it was dismissed.
That's when Jackie comes out and says, oh my god, We didn't ruin the surprise, did we? I was completely dumbfounded. She says, well, Jaden had a pretty big gift that he couldn't hide in his apartment, so we wanted to hide it here for V-Day. That was fair, because Jaden does live in a studio apartment where he has to share a bathroom and has a husky. So it was a good enough story for me to believe.
Honestly, shame on you for having a husky in a studio apartment. Shame on you. It's a dog that needs a yard. Shame on you. Anyway. Also, you sounded like Jimmy Stewart when you read that. You sounded like lady version Jimmy Stewart.
I don't know who that is.
What?
Guys, if they're not in my friend group, I don't know who they are. Friend group, family, or like a teacher of some sort? No, I don't know. For context, me and my boyfriend have been together for 2.5 years. He rushed out saying he had to get to work. Everything was going normally. Come Valentine's Day, me and my boyfriend had planned on doing gift exchanges at my apartment and then going out for dinner and a movie. So he comes over and immediately I'm like, me first, because I'm always so excited to give gifts. I give him a pair of Jordans he had been constantly talking about and a gaming headset and monitor. He starts talking about how happy he is, and then comes my turn. I get a bag with Pandora on it and I opened it. It's a necklace. I'll mention that after all this happened, I looked it up and the total was only $25 just for the pendant. He bought his own chain off Amazon for $10, so I smile and say thank you, and there was kind of an awkward silence because I was waiting. He goes, what? Why are you looking at me like that? And I laughed and said, I know you still have that big gift in Jackie's room. I never saw you take it out, and I can still see it in her room. For context, there's a really big Amazon box in her room that was still taped up, never opened, in the corner. So I assume that was my gift. He laughs and goes, oh, yeah, they sent me the wrong thing, so I'll have to take it back.
Huh? Although that has happened to me once, but like, huh?
I think this is a Love Actually scenario, and Alan Rickman is once again given only a DVD.
I think this is a we actually scenario, and it's we actually banged, and that was the surprise gift for you, is I cheated on you with your roommate.
Whoa.
That's going to be the surprise gift.
I
And then,
hope
like, in the moment, they were like, there's a giant gift in here that he can't fit in his apartment.
And that's who the mystery father is.
Guys, I think he just bought the wrong gift.
Can't a girl believe?
Can't a girl really just believe? I said, what were you trying to get? What did they send? He says he meant to get me a gaming chair, which is completely off topic considering I don't game and never have.
Wow,
it's like...
This guy's such a good liar.
I was trying to get you like a saddle for your horse. Babe, I don't own a horse. But I thought you always wanted one. So when you get one, you'll have one.
He's like, no, I know you don't own a horse now. That's why I'm trying to return it.
Right. That's the whole point. Now you're getting it. You're getting it, babe.
What I actually asked for was a vanity or new acrylic paints. Great gifts. He got really weird. So I said, what's in the box?
So I pulled a Brad Pitt from Seven, and I said, what's in the box?
Because I can tell when he's lying, and it just did not add up. He kept saying he didn't know that it's supposed to be a gaming chair.
Buddy, you're done.
Yeah.
What's in the box? The wrong thing. But I don't know what's in there. But also, it's the wrong thing, and I was supposed to get you a gaming chair, which is something I would want. But I don't know what's in the box. Don't look in the box. It doesn't matter what's in the box. The box isn't there.
Buddy, you just dug your grave. I got up and walked into Jackie's room and asked her, do you know what's in that box? It was very clear she felt caught off guard. She goes, well, obviously, it's your Valentine's Day gift. So I said, let's open it. I open it, and lo and behold, not a gaming chair. It's an Amazon box that had obviously been retaped and had multiple smaller packages inside. As I'm opening these packages, it's baby clothes, bottles, diapers, basically everything and anything baby related, hundreds of dollars worth of stuff.
That's not the gaming chair. That's the wrong. See? So he was right. It was wrong. He's exonerated.
I ordered a gaming chair. I have no idea why they sent baby items. I didn't order baby stuff. It was supposed to be a gaming chair for adults.
Yeah,
adult gaming.
I just mistyped. I typed in. I wanted to type in gifts
Goo
for my
goo chair.
gifts for my baby, but I typed in gifts for a baby.
See?
That's my fault. That's my
I
bad.
believe it. So I look at my boyfriend, who is now standing in Jackie's doorway, and I'm just like, what is this? Why would you go out of your way to give her all this stuff? I had no idea what to do. They're both looking so dumbfounded and guilty. I asked, what is going on? And that's when Jaden just goes, this isn't working. I think we need to end this.
This is my lie isn't working. I think I just need to disappear from your life.
He grabs the gifts I gave him and walks out the door. I start walking behind him. He quickly holds the headphones up in the air because I'm 5'2" and he's a little over 6 feet tall. And
No way.
says, no, it's a gift. No takebacks. Like we're freaking 5.
Oh my God.
Uh-uh.
That's actually insane.
No. He's like, sorry, this isn't working. No.
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
No takesy backsies. No takesy backsies.
You can't reach in. Ha ha. Short girl.
I'll tell you what, when his arms are up in the air, you know what's exposed? Every other part of his body. Just putting that out there.
That's true.
Putting that out there. The
You could've
bread
went,
basket's
tickle,
wide
tickle,
open.
Tickle. Or you could have went
He's whoop, right in the wham.
wham bam right in his clam.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. I said, okay. Snatched the box of shoes out of his other hand, walked back to my apartment, and locked the door.
Yeah, you secured the Jordans. That's a smart move.
I walk into Jackie's room and just say, why was he here the other day? Why was he coming out of your room? Just tell me the truth. I had been thinking about that day in the back of my mind, but I just didn't put 2 and 2 together that they would have been cheating on me. He's never given me a reason to think he would cheat on me. And she goes with the most blank expression, Jaden is my baby's father.
Just a blank expression right in your face. Jaden is my baby's father. Jaden is my baby father.
Jaden is having a baby. He is the father. We're going to have Jaden Jr.
Goo gaga.
Goo motherfucking gaga.
Googus gagas.
Googus gagas.
Walton Goo Goo Goggins. You don't know Walton Goggins?
No.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
I
he's
forgot.
not one of my friends.
He's not on the friend list.
Or my family. Sorry. I don't know. I literally had nothing to say to her. I just said, hope it was worth it. Went back to my room and locked it. I woke up a few hours later. Oh, so she fell asleep. She was gone. I could tell she had packed up a lot of her clothes. When I got on my phone, the first thing I see is that I've been added to a group chat with Jackie, Jaden, my stepsister, and my stepmother, all telling me that Jaden ended the relationship because he needed someone more secure like Jackie.
Someone more secure, like the woman you impregnated?
I just don't understand why they had to put it in a group chat with the family, be like, hey, just so you know, she'll probably tell you some twisted version of the story, but really it was because he needed someone more secure like this girl right here.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Jaden has done nothing wrong. Jaden is
so
simply
weird.
living his truth.
It's so weird.
And OP is an insecure, dangerous woman.
Not only was it the group chat, but all of them were privately messaging me about how we can work through this as a family and that my dad is going to help me find a new place so Jaden can move into the apartment and they can start their family. They're just okay with that. They're just like, cool.
Why do you have to be involved ever again?
Yeah. I said, so my dad knows about this? My stepmom goes, no, but he knows that it's time you and Jackie split apart and you retain your independence as a woman. Long story short, I left the group. It is now Tuesday. I haven't seen or heard from Jackie, Jaden, or my stepmom since. Part of me wants to reach out to my dad because I know he probably doesn't know the full story, but I don't know where to go from this. Any advice? And there is an update.
My advice would be these people have no power over you being involved in their life anymore. Sure, he wants to be with her. Fine, leave me out of it in perpetuity, please. And that's that.
I just don't understand why it had to be a whole family affair. And then also they're like, oh, don't worry, we'll make arrangements where you can leave and they'll have the apartment for their family. It's like, whose side are you on?
Yeah, well, I mean, because I guess Jaden's her stepsister.
Jaden is a man.
Or
Jackie?
sorry, no, Jackie.
Jackie.
Jackie's her stepsister. So there is that level of connection, but you don't need to be involved. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Where's stepmom? Why is stepmom and dad handling Jackie? I just assumed she had to have been his stepsister, and I missed something. Because why on God's green earth is your family taking your friend and your ex-partner? Yeah, you don't ever have to be involved with these people again, other than just maybe seeing them around, like a family event. If they're going to have this baby together.
That's
But
crazy.
like, you don't have to, I don't care. Leave me out of it forever.
I'd be like, what? Literally, what just happened? And I'd be like, okay, that's great. Bye, guys. I'm going to go cry in the corner, I guess. I don't know. Huh? Update. My roommate is pregnant with my boyfriend's baby 2 days later. Okay. I just want to thank everyone for the advice on my last post. For those who were confused, yes, my stepmom and my dad had an affair while he was married to my mom for 2 years. She found out she was pregnant, and that's when my dad suddenly decided he wanted to step up and be a great dad. Just not to me and my brother. Only to my stepsister and baby sister. 26 female and 7 female. Wow. Very big range. My mom is still very much in my life. She lives a few hours away with her partner. There's distance, but she's always been there for me. Through all of this, my little brother, 22 male, has really had my back. I've had to stop him from confronting Jaden a few times, but he's been crashing on my couch for safety reasons. My mom is coming into town so we can talk to my dad and get this lease situation handled. My landlord is doing a room inspection and asking for updated pay stubs and employment verification, which I can provide. I know Jackie is going to struggle with that because she only works 15 hours a week and Jaden only works 25. When I first found out she was pregnant a month ago, she told me she was 10 weeks. She's super skinny, so I couldn't even tell. I later found out she might actually be 20 weeks. My stepmom said 25. When did this happen? So it could have been 10, but more likely 20, but also it could be 25 weeks. I mean,
Let's up it. Let's make it 30.
you know what? 60, take it or leave it.
I got 35.
My boyfriend said 21. So clearly somebody is lying. I think they're all telling the truth. And the baby's just trying to figure out for themselves.
They're all telling their own truth.
After talking to my brother, I think it might be best for me to move, even if it's just to another building. I don't like them knowing exactly where I live. Now about the monitor and headset he took. I had a friend reach out to get it back. He sent pictures. Both were clearly used, and the headset looked like his dog had chewed it up. You want to break $300 worth of gaming stuff? Fine. I went on Facebook, joined a local selling group, and sold almost everything from that box. I made my $300 back and told my friend to let Jackie and Jaden know they didn't have to worry about it anymore.
Dang. So you got that stuff back and then resold it. I thought you were saying you sold all the baby stuff. And I was like, that seems kind of a shade of vengeful that I don't like. You're like, fine, I'll show you. I'll sell all of your baby's things. But you didn't, I don't think. So good.
How was I supposed to know that pregnancy is 40 weeks? I've never been pregnant. 60, take it or leave it.
She's not friends with anyone who's
I'm not
pregnant.
friends with anyone who's pregnant, so I don't know.
That's not even true.
Who's pregnant that I know?
You have known your siblings.
Oh, that's true. Not my siblings, my sister-in-law.
Yeah, that's close enough.
My sister-in-law has been pregnant, and I have been around a pregnant
Well,
lady.
but you do know a pregnancy is 9 months, and 9 months is 9 times 4,
divided
the
by
weeks.
9.
right?
9 months. So 90 times
52 weeks minus 12 months for the 3 months, 3 weeks, 52 weeks.
I need a piece of paper.
52 minus 12 is 40.
I need to show my work, please.
That's it. We did it. That hurt my brain. I don't like that.
I still didn't do it, and I'm just going to move on. My brain is done with that, and now I'm going back to reading, the thing I like most. Apparently, they went crazy banging on my door while I wasn't home. Jackie didn't take her keys. They were yelling that there was $800 worth of stuff in there. I price checked it. Maybe $500 max.
No, it was the baby box. You sold all the baby box stuff. Oh, that was bad. That was bad. You did a crime. You crimed a little bit, I think.
You crimed a little bit, but I didn't care about $500. I just wanted my $300 back, so I lowballed it and sold it. I kept the car seat because I know it's mandatory when leaving the hospital, and the pump supplies. Her baby shower's in a few weeks and my friend joked about re-gifting it to her. Haha. Yeah, I know it's petty. Call me bitter. I don't really care anymore. She was also behind on her car payments and I had been helping her because she didn't want her parents to know. I didn't pay it this month and I'm not helping next month either. They even tried to charge my card and I blocked it immediately. Apparently she's been telling my landlord I plan on moving out in May, which I never said. So that's fun. I'm hoping to have another update Monday after we talk to the landlord. This whole situation has put a dent in my life and I'm just ready to move on. She can have him. She was never a sister to me and evidently he was never my man. P.S. I'm not 100% sure about small claims court. I know how dramatic she is and how dragged out that could get. I don't have the time or energy for that right now. As long as she agrees to move out, I'm good with how it ended. There's a second update 6 days later.
Oh boy, they've talked to the landlord, the lord of the land. And she's going to be like, I'm also pregnant with Jaden's child.
Jaden Jr.
Jaden out
JJ.
here. JJ's out here
JJ.
impregnating everyone.
JJ, come out my JJ.
Okay.
There is an update 6 days later. Okay. I know a lot of you have been waiting for an update, so I'm just going to get straight to the point. Ever since my last post, I've been getting non-stop insults from my stepsister and Jackie. They've also made multiple posts about me, and my stepsister said she was disowning me and that me and my brother just didn't make the cut. Saturday, I invited my dad out to eat at a local place we used to go to when I was a kid. It was just supposed to be me and him, but my mom was there too. I did ask him not to bring my stepmom because he needed us to really touch base. At first, he tried to reschedule, but I pushed enough to get him to agree to come. Well, when he showed up, he brought my stepmom anyway. As they were approaching the table, my stepmom was already making comments about how glad she was to have come because I had ambushed him. I ignored her and told my dad I was glad he could make it and that we really needed to talk about my living situation with Jackie. Before I could even continue, he started in about how it's not fair, how I've been treating Jackie, and a bunch of other off-the-wall comments that I'm assuming my stepmom and stepsister fed him. So I told him everything from Valentine's Day up until now. At first, he was quiet, like he was trying to take everything in, while my stepmom just kept trying to jump in. Eventually, my dad said he needed to go to the bathroom and was in there for about 30 minutes.
Yeah, no, he's in there reassessing his entire life right now after he'd been lied to, I'm sure, because I was over here like, what do you mean you're being unfair to Jackie? She cheated with your man and got pregnant with him.
I imagine him in there like, get yourself together. Get yourself together, George. Come on. Come on. You know the right thing. Get yourself together. And then he jumps out the window and then they never see him again.
You know what to do, George. Get yourself together, George. You know what to do. It breaks through the glass. Just dives through it.
Is that dad running down the street?
Then he comes back, he turns around at some point, realizes he has to do the conversation. He comes back, he's covered in glass and cuts. I'm like, what happened? He's like,
took a massive dump in there.
Don't ask a man about what goes on in his bathroom.
For 30 minutes. During that time, my mom went in on my stepmom. What?
She went
My
in.
mom went in.
Your mom is there? When did your mom get there?
I thought it was just the stepmom that was there. Because she said not to bring her.
His mom
she said, don't bring
parachuted
the
in.
Stepmom, right?
Mom could sense something was going on and parachuted into the meal.
She didn't just bring up my situation. She brought up the divorce and now she wasn't going to let her ruin my life too. My mom isn't loud or dramatic, so I was surprised to see her this way. When my dad finally came out, his eyes were red like he'd been crying. Oh.
Yeah. Cry.
Aww.
He cry because he realized they lie. He cry for the lie.
He hugged me tightly and said he was sorry. That's when my stepmom stood up and said, sorry for what? Your daughter has a lot of growing up to do.
Oh my God. Stiff arm. Stiff arm. Get away from me. Stiff arm.
And that's when my mom told her to shut the F up. My dad said he couldn't believe all of this was happening under his nose. But truthfully, even though I didn't tell him the full story before, I had tried calling and texting him and didn't really get anything back until I pressured him to meet. And even then, he still brought my stepmom after I specifically asked him not to. Saturday night, my mom came to my apartment. She's always been good with finances, so we worked out my budget and started looking at apartments closer to my job. A lot of people asked why I don't just move closer to my mom. But she lives in a pretty rural area and I still do online schooling. My job is really beneficial and I can't afford to lose it right now. We got everything figured out. My mom boxed up the baby stuff I hadn't sold, the car seat, the front airbag pump, a few onesies, and a box of diapers, and we dropped it off at Jaden's apartment. My mom just left the box at the door, knocked, and walked away. Our landlord did the inspection and everything came back good on my end. Jackie failed to provide pay stubs or paperwork and completely ghosted the landlord. Yikes. They were in the process of evicting her. My mom's partner was kind enough to offer to pay off the rest of my lease. Thank God. But then Monday morning happened. It turns out my stepmom paid to have Jackie's name removed from the lease before she could be evicted so she could have a clean start with her baby. My dad also agreed to co-sign for a 2-bed apartment for Jackie and Jaden. My dad makes 6 times the rent and Jaden only makes 2 times. So with my dad co-signing, it works out. In my head, all I heard was, I don't have to pay for anything. So I signed the papers and went over everything with my landlord and my mom. I asked my dad why he still calls Jaden his son, and he kept referring to him like he's his responsibility. Like, for what reason? Jaden has parents, and his parents are well off. Fun fact, my mom actually reached out to Jaden's parents over the weekend. Turns out they knew he was with Jackie, and apparently I'm not wife material and not Dominican enough for their family. Racism. It always comes back to the good old racism.
Yes, she does not fit our genetic design. Her genetics are far too not Dominican.
Off with her head, I think.
Yes.
And give me all your baby things. I need them for my child. My new, well-rounded Dominican child.
Yes, we're going to have a perfect Dominican baby.
Jaden is Dominican. My mother is black. My dad is biracial, white/black. Stepmom, stepsis, Jackie are Latina. So what's the issue here? Seems like everyone's just different.
The issue is you're simply not Dominican. This isn't a you problem. Well, in a way it is, because you are not Dominican. It's a me problem. I have a problem with you not being Dominican.
By the way, I don't care how Dominican you are or not, because you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, or your favorite podcast app and just search OK Storytime.
That's right.
There's a little bit left.
Dude, shout out the Dominican Republic. Yeah, what is there even left to say about this? This is crazy. If your dad is co-signed on your apartment, never pay a single dollar of rent. He can take on that responsibility. Since he wants to, I guess... Again, this is crazy to me. This isn't even his stepdaughter. It's just his stepdaughter's best friend.
Yeah.
And his stepdaughter's best friend was the affair partner in his actual daughter's relationship. Like,
yeah.
And he's just like, there's nothing wrong with this. It's insane.
I know. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt when he came out crying from the bathroom. And he was like, oh, I'm just so sorry, all this stuff. But then he just makes it worse and pays for all of her stuff. Like, what?
Yeah, especially because he has his own family that clearly is like fine with it and is like, yeah, no, great, we like this because you're not Dominican. Sure, whatever, you can pay for his apartment. Why is my dad paying for his apartment? At least he's paying for yours, I guess. If he's co-signed on your lease, yeah, free rent city. It's his responsibility from my perspective.
Jaden's parents are going to work on paying off Jackie's car because his car is a piece of trash and they need something reliable for the baby. It's wild how all this money suddenly appears when it benefits them. It was my mom helping me, advising me, and doing my budget. My dad was silent. And now suddenly everyone has money and support to throw around. No one's checked on me or asked me how I feel. Crazy mention, but I hooked up with Tati's, Jackie's, fine butt brother, and it was funny as heck talking smack about you sleuths after cracking.
It was Crackdown City. We went to Crackdown University. Ooh, and we talked.
Oh, and we talked. And no, there were no souls tied, but he was a muncher. What?
Damn.
I didn't need to know that. Shout out to Diara and Tati since you want to stalk my posts. Oh.
Let him know, Queen. Let him know.
There's a freaking edit. Just found out her due date is mid-April. So you can go ahead and do the math with that. I don't know when all this happened, and honestly, I cannot try even remotely to get into it because that all was like scattered in my brain. I need like the board with like the red string to add everything up.
It happened in the middle of July. The middle of July.
But that's the end of that story. And we have another come right up.
I think my roommate is hiding a secret cat, and I'm allergic to it.
Uh-oh, bring out the Benadryl.
Hi, everyone. I, 23 female, currently live with my best friend, 22 female, and her ex-boyfriend, 26 male. And our living situation has been incredibly stressful, but I think I'm at a breaking point. By the way, this comes from user more like fart history. And if you want to submit your own stories,
That's what I say.
go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. I'm Dakota.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Sophia.
We're going to give good advice goofily, but we don't have all the answers. When we read this story, we only know what we would do. So let us know what you would do in the comments. And OP says, 2 days ago, while I was walking into the apartment, I was on the phone with my boyfriend and thought I saw a cat in my roommate's room. The way the apartment is set up, the window in their room is right next to the front door. I didn't spy inside either. Their window was open and the cat was up against the screen, with fur poking through, almost touching me as I unlocked the front door. I was shocked, and my boyfriend heard me react to it in real time. I hesitated to ask my best friend if there was really a cat since I'm severely allergic to cats, and thought there was no way she would get one without telling me, knowing that fact. But I have doubts. There's a lot of context about our living situation, so bear with me.
Bear with me. Bear. Rawr.
I just gotta quickly point out, yeah, dog, you saw a cat in her room. Like, there should be no room for question in your head if you physically saw a cat in the window. It's not like, is there a cat in there? You saw the cat. The cat is in there. Your roommate has this cat in her room. There's no denying that. Okay.
I want a secret cat.
My last roommate situation with my ex-best friend blew up after she crossed multiple boundaries with me, so I lived with her, scared to come out of my room for about 10 months, until she left in the middle of the night, leaving me with a huge mess to clean up. My best friend had been my rock through the whole thing, and both she and her boyfriend helped me clean up. They needed a place to live at the time, and were both unemployed, so I let them move in with me, paying half and covering them for a month until they got back on their feet. It's been 8 months since then, and I've had to get a second job to cover the rent for them, as she is still job hunting for something full-time.
No.
Oh, could have told you having your 2 unemployed friends move into your apartment was a bad idea. I could have told you that.
Yeah. I don't understand. Like, I get, like, people are very nice. They want to, like, help their friends out, blah, blah, blah. But, like, you got to give them, like, a deadline and be like, hey, listen, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't even let someone do that.
It's so annoying. 8 months and they're like, oh, I'm still looking for something full-time.
Yeah,
hey,
what?
buddy, you know what's better than no time? Part-time.
Yep.
Let's get something, yeah?
Literally.
I've only been paid half a month's worth of rent total in 8 months, sinking thousands of dollars into covering for her. But I'm not mad about this part of the situation. I'm making it work, barely. And she's promised me repeatedly that things are looking up, so I'm not too worried. What are you talking about, bro? You need to be like, you need to pay me back all of the rent that I've paid for you.
Oh, for sure. I mean, not only is that fair, but that is lawful.
Crazy that you're chill about that. You should be 0% chill about this. I'm moving back in with my parents in August when the lease is up, and I can replenish what I've taken out of my savings within a few months at most. The boyfriend was booted out in January for being too violent.
Whoa. Yikes. Okay, so this is just not a good situation all around. Cool.
Love that.
Yeah.
He was gone for a few months until he was booted out of his parents' place and moved back in by my best friend behind my back. She told me he was moving in after he already had his stuff set up instead of discussing it with me first, which I'm still upset about, but we've had long talks about it. My rule was that this had to be very temporary, and if they fought, he was gone. Things have been peaceful since he came back. The breach of trust, though, is why I think there's a possibility that they have a cat in their room and they're keeping a secret from me. Again, dog, you saw the cat. You saw the cat with your eyes. This is freak. Is this not bothering anyone else? Is anyone else not absolutely like wanting to scream? You saw the cat in front of you. It is there. It's not like, well, given all this other stuff that's happened to me, I think it's possible they could be doing this. You saw the cat with your own eyes. It wasn't a trick of the light. It wasn't an illusion.
Maybe it was a wig.
She got one of those moving wigs that makes noises.
It sounds just like a cat.
Okay. So, OP continues. Later that night, I texted her, quote, "Hey, sorry if I'm crazy and just seeing stuff, but is there a cat in the other room?" She seemed as confused as I was. She's also allergic to cats, albeit not nearly as severely as I am. We tried to figure out what I saw, and I couldn't even remember the color of the fur, only that it was dark and sticking through the window screen. She checked everywhere the next day while I was at work and found no cat. I came to the conclusion that the idea of her boyfriend having a cat in that room as a secret from both of us is so silly and convoluted. I have been working 18-hour days for a couple of months straight and playing a ton of Minecraft, barely getting any sleep. My best friend and I were convinced that I was either so sleep deprived that I hallucinated a cat or mistook one of her plushies for a living, breathing animal. I hadn't heard any meows, smelled cat pee, or anything. If there were a cat secretly living in that room for the past month, I feel like I'd know. We joked about this being a phantom cat or some kind of ghost cat, but my allergies have been acting up. It's spring, but they're acting up even crazier than usual.
I mean, it's been a bad allergy season.
Or there's a cat! There's a cat in your room!
I mean, it's not like cats are known to be sneaky little creatures that can hide in all kinds of cracks and crevices, are they? The one thing would be the waste. Where is the cat doing its business? If the cat was doing its business in that room for a month, you would know. So
Where's
maybe
the waste?
if your roommate isn't just bold-faced lying to you, which, newsflash, people can do that, you might just have a cat sneaking into your house somehow. And that's, what a gift that is.
What a gift.
Anyway, so this all convinced me I needed to get more sleep, and I did over the weekend. Last night, I was in the living room, and they both came in from grocery shopping. As they walked in, I heard, plain as day, a cat meowing from the direction of their room. I don't want to believe that my best friend is capable of gaslighting me
Girl!
and making me believe I'm seeing things that aren't there, but I definitely heard a real cat.
So you saw it and you heard it. If it looks like one and it talks like one, it probably is one.
That's actually so crazy for the best friend to be like, you're probably hallucinating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually crazy of her
Yeah.
to gaslight that.
And to be clear, once this comes to light, they have 48 hours to get out of this house. They got 48. They're not on the lease. Get out of here. Or I call the police and I say, these people are not welcome in my home. They were guests and I would like them to leave.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they do potentially have the avenue because they've been there for 8 months. They can be like, well, legally we're tenants. And blah, blah, blah.
rights.
But they don't sound like they're smart enough to do that. I don't know. Anyway, in the living room, there is a lot of the boyfriend's stuff because he doesn't have a car to keep anything in. And among his stuff is a cat carrier.
So they have a cat. They have a cat. You've seen it. You've heard it. And there's also something to transport it. They have a cat.
No, they're just going to be like, no, that's my buddy. He's in our room. You can't see him. And he just
sometimes
likes
he
to make
meows.
cat noises. No one is this silly. This morning, I texted her again, are you sure there's no cat? Like, for real, for real. I definitely heard a cat last night, and my allergies have been really bad all weekend. There's a cat carrier in the living room. Like, I feel like I'm crazy. Was the cat that I heard outside? She replied, there is 100% no cat. The cat carrier is in the living room, so boyfriend's parents don't try to ship Kitty, his cat, off somewhere else. The last time he was booted out, his brother stole his cat, and we didn't get her back for 2 years. There has been a cat outside. It's a little girl cat that lives across the next building. She usually comes around late at night or early in the morning. I did see her last night with the kids outside, and my allergies have been out of whack all week. I can't breathe, and I've been sneezing and coughing. If you keep your window open, I'd close it because pollen is bad right now. That's the only thing that's been making me act up allergy-wise. I'm not sure how to move forward from here.
OP, literally, I would just go in the room. I'd just be like, yeah, wait, actually, technically this is my room because I pay for it. And I'd
Right.
open the door, and plain as day, it'd be meow. And I go, what? What? I'm not crazy. What?
You open up their room and it's like, oh, there's a cat box in here. Like, that's the one thing is, where are they keeping that to where that's a secret? You just never see into her room ever at all?
The lies that they're trying to
Yeah.
come up with to like be like, no, there is no cat. There is no cat. It's like, there is clearly a cat here. Like, clear as day.
Yeah, it's insane that we need to trust ourselves a little bit. I want to protect my health and avoid making assumptions without evidence. You mean like the evidence of seeing the cat with your own eyes in that room? I'm already planning to move out when the lease ends because the financial situation isn't sustainable, but in the meantime, I need advice on how to address this situation after trying to broach the subject multiple times. Thanks for any advice you can offer. And there are some comments. My number one piece of advice was stop being the biggest pushover ever.
If I, was allergic and like something was affecting my health and like I'd be like, okay, I can't breathe. There has to be something here, blah, blah, blah. Immediately, I would just go in the room and look. I would just go. I'd be like, there's something in here. Sorry. It's like really affecting my health. And you're also allergic. So why you would try to hide this is beyond me. But I'm going to go in your room. I'm going to find this cat. And then I'm going to tell you to leave.
Yeah.
End of story.
Just believe the evidence of your eyes and ears. You saw the cat. Comment 1, why don't you just go into that room and find it? OP says, we have an agreement not to go in each other's rooms.
You also have an agreement not to have cats.
Yeah, you also had an agreement that they were going to get on their feet and pay you your rent.
Yep.
And
that
it's
was
been
mine.
8 months.
Yeah. Like there's been agreements, but none of them have actually gone into effect.
You know what this is giving me? OP's giving me the same energy as, have you seen No Country for Old Men? She's giving me the energy of the guy from No Country for Old Men that helps Javier Bardem's character and just stands there while he's like putting the cattle, like the cattle anesthetizer up to his head and just like does it. OP would just stand there. Be like, oh, are you doing anything bad? And he just go, no. Oh, are you sure? It feels like ominous. No.
He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
What are you doing to me? If I'm wrong and snoop on them, then personally, I don't feel right about it.
Oh my.
If I hear meowing while they're not home, I'll definitely check though. A reply says, okay, you also have an agreement that they will pay rent and that's not happening, so... OP says, okay, hashtag truth bomb. You're right. I'll check when they're not home so I'm not barging in. A reply to this says, buy some dry cat sweets or unseasoned fish, put it in the middle of the room, rattle the remaining dry food in the package, most pet cats know that sound, and leave. If the snacks are still there an hour or two later, there's no cat, or a locked up cat in a cage or something.
Just go in the freaking room.
OP says, solid advice. Thank you so much. And there's an update. We're going to get the truth.
Go in the room. Go in the
Guys,
room before I make you go in the room.
I think there might be a cat in that room.
I'm going in the room. You know what? Screw this. I'm going in.
Update. Thank you all for replying. I appreciate it. I was convinced this was the outdoor cat and her ex let it in while she wasn't in the room, so she had no idea, and this was maybe just a one-time thing. It made sense to me. For just a little bit, I felt like the Joker from the Joker movie when he found out he imagined his girlfriend. But I thought that was the end of it. I felt like the Joker from the Jonkler movie. I now know that the cat is very much real. I saw it in the same spot last night while they weren't home and heard it meowing. It's a very cute black and white cat. I confronted my best friend about it over text, and she fessed up. The cat was given to her by a coworker, and she didn't know what to do and didn't want to take the cat to an animal shelter. She's been trying to find a person to take the cat, and no one wants him. She assumed I hated her for not paying rent and moving in her ex without telling me first. I was a little too understanding in both of those situations, but I did not hate her, and didn't want another reason for me to hate her, so she elaborately lied and gaslit me to hide this cat, which, for God's sakes, what a great reason to hate somebody!
Yeah, she's giving you 3 good reasons. Why
Yeah.
not? Just give in, OP.
Bro, do not forgive this person. You go, hey, so I just want to let you know, you lying and gaslighting me about the cat, actually many magnitudes worse than just telling me exactly what you told me right now. So for those reasons, sharks, I'm out. You have to leave my apartment now.
For those reasons, sharks.
By the way, You don't ever have to leave us because you can listen to full episodes with stories just like this on your favorite podcast platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Just go search OK Storytime wherever you listen to podcasts. And we are up on the tail end of this, and you better be telling this woman to leave.
Yeah. If you let these people live here still by the end of this, OP, I don't feel bad for you. You are putting yourself in this stupid situation.
Yeah,
Grow a brain and grow some other stuff and get the job done.
it's time. I'm honestly impressed with the OPSEC because I can't smell pee, and I never heard the cat unless both of them weren't home, which is a pretty rare occurrence. Not OP dropping operational security
Like,
in the story. I was impressed with the OPSEC.
like, shut up.
That's awesome. But I'm not crazy. I'm not sick for no reason, and I don't need to get my brain and or eyes checked because of a phantom cat. Well, you need to get your brain and eyes checked because you didn't believe them. Anyway, it's safe to say the friendship is in a rough spot, or most likely over, and they're getting booted out and are set to leave on Sunday. So hopefully I'll be able to breathe in my own home now. Thank you all for reading, and that is the end of that story. I think hopefully the end of that friendship, thank God. Wowzers.
I hope that all of this just goes away and you get your house back and everyone just shuts the heck up. I hate everyone in that story.
But also,
They're all
how
the
dare you?
worst.
How dare you have an allergy to cats? How dare you?
How
Stop
dare you.
believing in your allergies. They just, you guys just believe you're allergic. Just stop believing.
Yeah.
It's like Santa.
Don't stop.
Believing.
That's why you're allergic. You won't stop believing.
All right.
Anyway, we have some comments from the video. My landlord is destroying my marriage, posted on February 19th of this year, 2026. The TLDR for story 1 is OP put up colorful Christmas lights and a big inflatable snowman outside her new home, not knowing her HOA had a secret 47-page rule book banning exactly that. The HOA hit her with a $100 a day fine and posted a photo of her house on the neighborhood Facebook page so everyone could pile on. OP wanted to fight back, but the fines kept adding up fast. Her husband begged her to take the decorations down before they lost thousands of dollars. They had the worst fight of their marriage, and in the end, her husband went outside in the cold and took everything down himself while OP watched from the window and cried. Now they owe $500. The snowman is deflated on the grass, and OP still has to go beg the HOA board to cut them a break. Will they get their money back, or is this HOA president about to ruin Christmas for good? If you're curious to know the full story, you can go watch the full video.
And we've got some comments from that story. San Yuri says, I feel like the HOA situation is more about not having control of what she does with her own home. F the HOA, imagine working so hard to buy your dream home just for some Karens drunk on power picking on you specifically to tell you that you can't even decorate in the way you want. Just because she might not currently have a job doesn't mean her feelings aren't valid about the issue. We don't know what else is going on in OP's life, nor do we know why she's so attached to the decorations, but that doesn't make her feelings on the matter silly.
No, I disagree. It does. If it's $100 a day,
Yeah, she
does make it
did
silly.
lose like I think almost it was either $500 or it was $1,000 over, and her husband said, "Please take them down."
yeah, it's just simply not worth it.
Crystal Sullivan says, which is exactly why I will never live in an HOA. Screw that. I will not be told what I can or cannot do with my own dang house. I do agree with that.
Yeah, if I ever own a house and there's an HOA, I'm gonna know exactly whatever is going on. Because like in principle, they make sense, but then like in practice, they are always just like ran by power hungry, insane people. You know, it should just be like, yeah, you can't have like a hole in your roof. HOA.
Yeah.
You can't
just be like-
can't light your front yard on fire.
Yeah.
HOA.
But my mom now lives in like a condo and like an HOA place, and they're not allowed to like decorate, you know, like for Christmas and stuff. Like they can't put up like Christmas lights. So it's just like,
that's so stupid.
it's boring.
Has nothing to do with property
Yeah.
values whatsoever. It's their Christmas
And you
decorations.
can't have a shepherd's hook in your yard. Yeah.
a shepherd's
I don't know why. Well, because my mom has one and she puts like the plant on it, and they literally were like, you can't have that.
They just hate your mom.
Oh, my mom's like, I'm getting on the board, and all those 80-year-olds are going down.
Kate Challibo says, HOAs for neighborhoods with freestanding houses are nuts. They need to exist for certain homes, i.e. attached townhouses, condos, anything with shared major elements like roofs or driveways, etc. And comment from Kat Angeline. Something about story 1 very much rubbed me the wrong way, as OP's course of action seems selfish, ungrateful, childish, and irresponsible to me. HOA rules suck, but it is what it is. It's common knowledge that HOAs can sometimes be very strict. So just don't move there if you don't want somebody having a say in what you do. At the end of the day, they're just decorations, and not having the exact ones you want will not affect your life in any meaningful way. Paying hundreds or potentially thousands in fines sure will, though.
I mean, that's the thing, is if you got the money to throw around, those rules
They
are just
didn't.
suggestions, but
You
don't. So, yeah, I don't know. They'd have to take me to court to get that money from me, man. But they probably have, access to my bank. It's so stupid. Down with the HOA. But that is the end of those comments and the end of this episode. So, if you love us, make sure you subscribe.
We love you.
And
See you tomorrow.
Hey, don't leave yet. We've got some stories that we think you'll enjoy, so stay tuned for the next one.
I refuse to lend money to my aunt for her college because it will affect my Paris trip. Gotta go to Paris. So I, male 25, have recently moved to a house I bought in October. The house was one of the houses my dad's friend wanted to sell, so he gave me a discount for the house. He has lots of properties in my city and wanted to sell some because he is moving to Germany for work in April. By the way, this comes from Apprehensive Lake 828, and if you want to submit your own stories, just go to r/OKStorytime subreddit, and we'll read them right here on camera for you. So, it is a 3-bedroom house with a small garden in the front and a big garden in the back. I also finished my master's last August, and now I'm planning to travel to Europe in October for at least half a year after I finish the project. I'm in charge of my job in July. Now, for the problem, I have an aunt, female, 32, from my dad's side who started college last October around the time I bought my new house. She just told everyone that she doesn't have the money to pay for the semester and can't continue unless she pays till February. Thing is, no one in our family can help her to pay but me and her brother, male 39, who said no, and now everyone is on his back saying how heartless he is to his little sister, even though I bought the house in full, so I don't need to pay for the mortgage and own my house myself. I had trip money saved, and if I give it to her, she will have enough money for the rest of her college years. Where I live, college costs around $15,000 to $20,000 for all the years unless you study medicine on average. Now, she asked me if I'm willing to pay for her college, and she appreciates the gesture. She said that I don't have a mortgage on my house, so I can help her. I hate it in these stories. They're like, well, you have this and you have that, so you can pay me.
And we're family, so we have to share. Did you work hundreds of millions of hours for this? I didn't see you there.
And she said that she would be sure to pay back by the time that she finishes her studies and even give interest if she can. The thing is, if I give her the money, I just won't be able to travel as I wanted to and save the money for almost 7 years. My mom said that I need to help her because she is family and she used to help me a lot when I was a kid, even though she was a kid herself at the time. My dad, on the other hand, said that I should not help and let her figure it out herself. He said that I deserve a break and should just ignore her and the rest of the family if they don't like my decision, and that I should just focus on my project and plan my trip when I have free time. That was great backup. I talked with some close friends and they split. I'm split about this myself because I truly want to help her out, but didn't want to lose on the trip that I planned and worked for. So, Reddit, would I be the a-hole for not loaning the money to my aunt to finish college? I would appreciate your full honesty about the matter. There is an edit. Thanks to everyone who comments on the post. In the end, I decided to listen to ask my dad why both he and my uncle are so against the idea. My dad told me to talk with my uncle because he doesn't want to shame her. Well, after he said that, I went to my uncle's house and asked him why he didn't help just to know if I really should. And he said to me that she will most likely not pay back by the time I need the money, or she will stop learning again like last time. Oh boy. Something I didn't know is that both my dad and uncle helped her in the past when she tried to go to college a few years ago, but she dropped out and didn't return the money to both of them. My dad and uncle decided to forgive her and not let anyone in the family know about the money because she is their little sister and didn't want her to be shamed by the rest of the family after what she did. After what he said, he told me I should keep it secret from everyone, but also not give her the money because he and dad think that she will just waste the money and drop out like last time and just use the money for myself and no one else. Because of that, I chose to call her this morning and tell her I know about the last time when my dad and uncle gave her money, and even if I wanted her to succeed, she should have planned her college days better. Honestly, that's really true. If she knew that she didn't have the money for this, she shouldn't have done it yet. Or she should have, figured out her money situation before she, begs the other people. I may have been harsh on her, but she got the message and said she won't ask me again. I do hope she finds a way to finish her academic studies, but I'm not going to help her after what my uncle told me. And there is a comment. Comment number 1 says, not the a-hole. Being family, it does not require you to sacrifice yourself and your wants and needs to help her. Do not do this. You will regret it. Let me, 56 female, give you some old lady money advice. Never loan money you need because often it becomes a gift that you never get back. Unless there is a loan agreement in writing, you are most likely to never see this money again. Never make yourself responsible for the financial needs of people to whom you are not married, related by birth, or adopted. It's fine to help others, but never destroy your future to do so. Your aunt's education is her responsibility, not yours.
Facts. Here we go. Imagine your 32-year-old sister asking you, hey, can you pay for my college at your age?
It's like, well, I don't have the money for that. Simply do not. I have some money saved, but that's my savings. I need that, Never feel guilty about what you have that others don't. Accept and be grateful for the breaks and blessings in your life, like the house. Your family is trying to guilt you into this. When you do things out of guilt, you will likely resent your aunt and family for pushing you to do something that you don't want to do. Never let anyone guilt you using the word family. Often when people use that word to get you to do something, it is something that they are not doing themselves. Everyone in the family is trying to guilt you to give her the money, but none are willing to chip in even a small amount so you don't have to empty your account. That's a good point. Everyone else is in the family and they're like, hey girl, you're also family. Why don't you do this instead?
That makes sense.
That's a major red flag. Be careful to whom you give money to, as people will become financially reliant on you, play on your guilt, and make you feel responsible when you are not. Find out what type of person she is when it comes to money. Does she borrow and not pay back? Is she reliant on others for money all the time? Always pay attention to red flags. There is a reason her own brother will not give her the money. If you can find out why, it is better to learn from others' experience than to find out the hard way on your own. And we did find out why. You will always need money. You're young, but you need to plan for your future now. Retirement, a nest egg if you lose your job or become ill, marriage or kids if you so choose. That's a good point too. It's like, yeah, you have the money and you're planning on doing it for vacation now.
But you need to be investing in yourself right now.
Absolutely. It's not just extra money that you'll never need. Come on. But we have an update. So far, what happened after is I got calls from some family relatives from my dad's side telling me that I should have helped her because this is what a family is for. And I act like an ungrateful brat for only thinking about myself and ignoring a close family relative cry for help. Well, this pissed me off, and I chose to write in the family WhatsApp chat about how much I hate them for thinking that just because my aunt was done with her money and chose to go to college, even though she didn't have the funds, it wasn't my responsibility. And if they want to help, and why don't they chip in to help her out? Or do you just really want to help yourself and just act like all high and mighty in front of everyone? After that, I said that to everyone who shamed me and my uncle for not helping her, that I'm not going to talk to or see them for a long time, or even forever, depending on how I felt. And they aren't welcome to come to my house, and I would consider them a trespasser if they came and I would call the police on them.
Oh my gosh.
I left the WhatsApp chat after that, and my dad called me a few hours later. He said that even if he thinks that my reaction is over the top, he does think that I'm in the right and should handle it however I like, even if he doesn't agree with sharing everything publicly. I was happy with the fact he was on my side, and my uncle was also on my side, and even said that I was too nice in calling them out. Oh, wow. My mom doesn't like how I acted, but my dad did say that she thinks the way everyone talks about me is wrong, and I should ignore them. I'm not sure if she agrees with me, but it is nice to see that she does not agree with the rest of the family, even with the fact that she was basically on their side. It has been almost a week, and every time I get a call from an unknown number, it is some annoying family friend or one of the ones I said that I am not going to talk to them, saying that I should apologize for what I did and act like an adult. I do block every number now, and even if how they act is annoying, I still feel great with all of that weight off my chest and only focus on my work and my trip. We have a second update.
Oh my god, the revenge of the aunt.
The revenge. Oh my gosh, what do you think she's gonna do to take revenge?
Probably just complain more. It's just crazy how other family members are like, you, a kid, need to help out your aunt and give her money. Why don't you guys go start a GoFundMe, huh?
Like, loans exist. I know, like, you know, not everyone qualifies, but like, you could try. If there's so many people that care so much about her going to college, then like, they can chip in. If it's really that big of a deal, I think they're just annoyed that she has money and they're jealous. Absolutely. Update number 2. Hey, I was not expecting to post on this account, but as you can see in the title, things happened last week that I wanted to share on Reddit. This is an update on my AmITheAsshole and my true off my chest. TLDR, my aunt needed money for college. I could have helped her, but chose not to because she already got help from my dad and uncle in the past, didn't finish college, and didn't pay them back like she said she would. I told her I was not going to help her, then cut contact with all the relatives who attacked me on the family group chat, and things have been all right ever since. So I decided to go on my vacation 2 weeks ago because I finished the project I was working on in late May instead of July, like we thought we would. So I started to plan the vacation. Who is going to look after my house? I chose my 19-year-old brother because he can live in my home free of charge as long as he takes care of the place, and I trust him. Now, to what happened when I was in Germany. I got a WhatsApp call from my brother about how when he was away to get food, he found our aunt's car next to the house. And when he went to check, he found that she broke the door and was looking through my stuff to most likely find something of valuable to steal. And she most likely didn't know that my brother is temporarily living there and thought that my house was empty. Oh my gosh.
Insanity.
She's just straight up stealing. That's crazy. I hope he called the cops.
I bet you if she did steal something, everyone would be like, well, you need to help family out.
He called her out and said that if she didn't get out, he would call the police and dad. He didn't want to handle the cops by himself to try and threaten her. She refused and said that I owed her because now she has to take loans to continue college. And she believed that I should help pay her loans because I didn't help her back in January. Oh my goodness. That's so insane. He ended up calling the cops and messaging our dad. And when she realized, she went to her car and drove off. When the cops and dad came, he told them what happened and showed the camera footage, which shows how she broke the door, went through my stuff, and wrecked the place. The cops took a copy of the footage and told my dad that they would handle the rest and keep in contact with him when they finished with her. He told me that they caught her later in the night in her friend's apartment and they were going to charge her with breaking and damaging my property. My TV, PS5, part of my games collection, my gaming PC, and stuff I don't care about as much as them. So now she's in jail and has a court hearing and I need to be in the trial. Whoa!
Holy cow. How people fall so low.
That's crazy. Dude, this is like really satisfying to hear about. Oh my gosh.
I would say like, yeah, and she also broke like a super rare Lego collection. I can't find like my golden rocks. Like,
there you go. Luckily, my dad's lawyer managed to only need me to be through Zoom instead of coming back to my country for the trial, as long as my dad will be there to represent me as well. Well, I feel like crap on my vacation, even though it has been a week. I didn't know my aunt was capable of doing something like that, and some of the games she damaged are old favorites of mine. Pokemon Coliseum and Platinum, SMT, Digital Devil Saga, and Nocturne. Now I hope that when I get to France, there won't be any more bad news and I can enjoy the rest of my vacation. At this point, I just hope the train ride will be nice. Edit. Hey guys, sorry for not responding. I had a train to France 3 hours after uploading the post and immediately went to sleep after getting to the hotel. Thanks for all the support in the comments. Now about what I'm going to do. I will press charges against her for all the stuff that she damages. I am not going to go easy on her for what she did, and if anyone in my family will be against me, they can go F themselves. Tomorrow, I will have a Zoom call with the lawyer to see if I can get her to pay for the market rate of all the games she destroyed, because most of them are GameCube, DS, or PS2 or 3 games,
So they are hard to get now, and you can't even get them in my country. And because most of them were in good condition, I believe it will be easy to force her to pay for a new, or at least used at best. The trial is on the 12th of September, so I will update at least a day later about how it went. Now I'm going to enjoy my time in France and have the time of my life here before the trial. And we have some comments. Comment number 1 says, oh my goodness, with family like this, you don't need enemies. Honestly, though, I think that like the dad and the uncle were the only ones that knew about like the college before and that they loaned money. They kept it from everyone as to not like shame her. Expose her.
Easy.
And we have another update number 3. Hey guys, it has been a nice 2 weeks and my time in Paris was great. So let's get to what happened in the trial. The trial was longer than I thought it would be. We were there for an hour and a half. In the trial, her lawyer said to her defense, my aunt had a manic episode because of her not doing well in classes to the point that she had to retake 2 classes in the summer. And if she didn't take them, she would have to repeat her first year. And also because she was a recovering substance user, something I didn't know. And she chose to use devil's lettuce with her friend group, and that was when the idea to rob me came, and she did it. Wow. So that's their defense. Like, well, she failed some classes, so she decided to rob a house. Never had I ever gotten the urge to rob a house just because I failed my classes. As you can see, the defense wasn't good. I mean, devil's lettuce only became legal for medical purposes recently. I mean, even her lawyer looked like she didn't have enough to work with, and the judge didn't look happy with this. As some of you suggested, I told my lawyer that the stuff she destroyed, like my computer and games, were important stuff to me, and that I lost the data from the games that I've accumulated in almost 20 years. Not true, by the way. I have everything saved up as ROMs on my SD card in my room. I just didn't tell that to anyone, and thank God I did this. And he believes that she should also reimburse me for this stuff for market value, as long as the other stuff like my door, fence, and furniture, and more stuff. I did my best to look sad when I was questioned about the whole thing, unlike my aunt, who looked like she was faking it. After all of this, the judge came with her sentence. She has to serve 3 years in jail, not because of breaking into my house, but because there was illegal devil's lettuce in her car, but can get released early if she acts well in jail. She now owes me $8,200 for all the damage she caused, the amount of money for all the stuff she destroyed, as well as the games. They took almost $2,000 by themselves. Luckily, she can pay with her car and some of her expensive stuff I didn't know she had, according to my dad. So I'll get the money eventually. And according to us, we always have full episodes with stories just like this one on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. Just search OK Storytime and you'll be good. We got you. And there is still a little bit more, but gosh, that's a crazy turn of events there. But like, she's gonna be in jail. She's getting punished somehow.
Hopefully she'll learn her lesson. Goodness gracious.
And she's getting money. So that's good. I don't think I've ever seen like a story like this where it's like, you know, they call the cops because like they're trespassing or stealing or just, you know, yelling on their front porch or something like that. But then like nothing actually happens. But this is like so satisfying. But there is a little bit more. Let's see what happens next. Well, now she's in jail, and I'm sure that some of my family will hate my guts with some of the messages I got in the past 3 weeks, calling me selfish, an entitled prick, a backstabber, a smock, and more stuff that are way worse than that. Well, this is probably the last of this whole entitled aunt stuff, and I am going to enjoy the rest of my vacation. Tomorrow, I will go to London and have fun there. By the way, if you ever see this somehow, measure it. Hope your time in jail was fun and go F yourself for all you did. I also hope that you changed as a person in the last few years, but I will never speak to you again. And that is the end of that story. Wow. What an ending. Oh my goodness. That was crazy.
Call her real name out at the end. Oh my gosh.
Literally.
My husband gave my expensive purse to my stepdaughter without my permission, so I left them stranded.
Leave them on that island. Just let them fend for themselves.
My husband, Mel 41, is the worst at gift giving. We've been together for over 3 years, and after the first year of not receiving anything for my birthday, anniversary, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, was the last straw after being told I wasn't his mother. I decided to start matching his energy. If someone's tits have been put in your mouth, they deserve a mother's gift. By the way, this comes from Definite Marsupial on the r/showcase storytime. Father's Day came and I was gone all day when normally I would have put together a big lunch, dinner, and drive 30 to 40 minutes to go to his daughter, Elena, now 16, so they could spend the whole day together. He called me in the afternoon and I was polite but not initiating conversation. He asked me when I was picking up his daughter and I replied I had plans and wasn't aware that I was supposed to pick her up since nothing was communicated to me. He responded with, "It's Father's Day." I used his response back, "You are not my father." I had anticipated him getting upset, and I knew a constructive conversation would not be had, so he started to raise his voice, and I told him to check the table and hung up. I had left a letter to him communicating how much I was hurt about going out of my way for him and not have any sort of reciprocation. He called me later and said he would try to be better and work on it. I ended up going to get his daughter during the week so they could enjoy a dinner together. Background info, he drives big rig trucks, so the vehicle we use every day is mine. He's been better about the gifts. It's more of go pick something out and I will pay for it, which I really don't mind. He does the same thing with his daughter. I do all the shopping for his family gifts when it comes to birthdays and holidays. Cut to a week before Christmas and I wake up to my favorite coffee drink. My husband is taking me to go out to eat breakfast, followed by a trip to the mall to pick out my Christmas gift.
Wow, that's such a nice little experience.
I rarely splurge on myself when it comes to purses and clothes. I have a preteen son from my first marriage, so I tend to be more practical on myself and spend on him for his birthday and Christmas. My stepdaughter, however, is very materialistic and always is asking for money or something expensive. And between her father and his family and her mother and her family and her stepfather, she always gets it. I'd repeatedly said out loud that I needed a new purse since mine was hanging on by a thread and had decided to invest in a good designer handbag. I started saving money and looking online for my new dream purse. So imagine my surprise and excitement when we get to the department store and I see they have my dream purse in stock. My husband sort of gave a look when he saw the price, and I told him I could contribute and explain how I had been saving so I could save enough to get this purse that I had been dreaming of for about months. He shook his head and said I deserved it and he would get it for me, but also gave me the expectation that since he was getting me this, he really couldn't afford to get me anything else. I screamed with delight and told him that was okay. I didn't need anything else. With all that taken care of, my husband asked me if I was okay to get his daughter and take her Christmas shopping. I had tons to do at home in preparation for the holiday, so this worked out so I could have the house empty to get what I needed done. I was reaching to get my new purse when we arrived home, and he said for me to leave it because he had another gift he had previously purchased for me and that he was going to put it inside the purse for me to open on Christmas. I was on cloud 9, so I kissed him and left my bag and went outside. I was still busy cleaning and decorating when he got home later that night, and the rest of the day before Christmas were all a blur with me trying to get the house ready for the holiday. I hosted Christmas Eve at my house with my family, and on Christmas Day, I slept in tired from the night before and woke up with enough time to brush my teeth before we headed out to his daughter's, then drive to spend the day at his mother's house. I fell asleep on the drive and woke up after his daughter was picked up, and we were already en route to his mom's. I turned around to greet his daughter, and that's when I saw her rummaging and holding my new purse.
Oh, no.
"Where'd you get that purse?" I asked her, and the car felt completely silent. I look at my husband, and he stayed quiet with both hands on the wheel, looking straight ahead. I asked her again, this time in a louder, more stern tone, and she looked down and quietly mumbled, "My dad gave it to me." "You what?" I screamed. "How could you think it was okay to give her my new purse?" He told me to calm down, and I cut him off and screamed, "No!" and then turned back to his daughter and told her that her father had no right to give her my purse and that she needed to give it back, to which she refused. I could feel my anger raging, then subsiding, a feeling of sadness and complete defeat. I put my coat over my head and leaned against the window, trying to cover my face and mouth as tears started running down my cheeks. My husband pulled over at the next gas station, and his daughter bolted out, taking the purse with her. He tried to comfort me, which I slapped his hand away and told him not to touch me and gave him a look of disgust. He informed me that after he dropped off me that day, he picked up his daughter and took her shopping, and on the way taking her home, she noticed the bag and saw the purse. She begged and pleaded with him to please let her have it. She reminded him about all the times he never got her a gift and how giving her this purse would make up for it, and that played on his heart, and he finally caved in and gave her my purse.
Wow, what an entitled, spoiled little brat.
He tried to say he was going to make it up to me, and I asked him how, knowing it was impossible. He already spent his money and made it clear that he wasn't going to have any money to buy me anything else. I couldn't help but get upset as I tried to get him to understand how hurt I felt, how it's not like he was suffering with getting her to open presents from her mother and stepfather, plus gifts from their family, along with the gifts she was getting to get from his family, that he already spent money on her for Christmas presents, and that was my one gift. I know Christmas is not about getting presents, but I was extremely upset that my husband could be so thoughtless and not consider the amount of pain he was going to cause me. His phone rang, and it was his daughter calling from the inside, asking him to come inside as she needed money to buy something. Alana, as he was walking to the store, I looked back and tears began to fill my eyes. I saw all the gifts I picked out for his family with care. Something came over me, and I stopped crying, and I got out of the car in the driver's seat and wiped my face, peeled out the gas station parking lot, leaving my husband and stepdaughter behind. You just left them. She's like, I'm going home.
She's like, sell the bag. Buy yourself an Uber home.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, you can get yourself an Uber home.
Wow. Yeah, that is still frustrating that the daughter is still like, Dad, can you come buy me something? When she ran into like the gas station, it's like, first of all, her just running away from that is like crazy. And then still after all that, asking to just get more. He's absolutely spoiling her.
I turned my phone off and drove back to town and spent the day with my family at my cousin's house and stayed with them, not returning any of my husband's phone calls and not returning home until late the following day. The only phone call I did return was one from my stepdaughter's mother to set her straight after she left a hateful message about leaving her daughter stranded because I was jealous her father bought her a new purse. I told her she had been told a lie and informed her of the truth. That, in fact, her father did not buy her a new purse. He bought me a new purse. And she played on father's emotions after he had already bought her expensive items for her from her Christmas list to guilt him into giving her my new purse. She apologized and tried to come up with a solution, to which I replied for her not to bother. The damage has already been done. And we will not damage you unless you check us out on your favorite podcast platforms. Just search up OK Storytime and you get a plethora of stories just like this. It was a threat, not a warning whatsoever. I mean, it makes sense you're upset,
Yeah, I don't think abandoning them was the right way to deal with that.
but I wouldn't want to spend my holiday with this guy that just will give anything to his daughter, has no backbone. I'm not about to spend all day doing that. Imagine getting something finally and then it automatically getting away from you.
Yeah, because I guess she could complain and being like, well, I spent all this money on you and your family picking out very thoughtful gifts. This was one thing that you were getting me that is probably equal price to like what she spent on everything. Maybe actually. Purses can be expensive. Yeah, like I could see it justifying it like that. And then the fact that this little kid, he is absolutely spoiling that little kid. Oh my goodness. Like, no, after all that, after that whole discussion, I'm not going to buy you something from the gas station. You're not going to run away out of this car where I don't know where you're going, you know? But I definitely don't think OP should have driven off. What do you think about that?
No, I think she's fine. That was just a warning. That was just like a little bit of it. I found out through my sister-in-law that my husband's brother went to get them, and the story came out later that evening. His mother on his side, while his brother and sister-in-law and other aunts and uncles sided with me and got onto his daughter. Oh, wow. That's awesome. I have not spoken to his daughter since Christmas, and things are unsettling at home. I have become more distant from my husband, and when I make dinner, I don't serve him a plate. I serve only my son and myself, and I only engage in conversation with my son. He's tried to reach for me at night when we are in bed, but I always end up crying. I'm not angry or mad, just feel nothingless. He's back on the road, and I do miss him, but I can't shake the feeling of how he let me down, and I cannot hide the looks of disappointment, looking to see what others have to say about this situation. I think he just needs to buy you something else that's nice. He just needs to do a grand gesture of kindness towards you, and I think this all will be solved.
I think that grand gesture would be to actually like parent his child.
Yeah, parent his child, but like also getting something for you or like doing a nice thing for you. Like if he went out of his way, you guys had a nice weekend together, focused just on you and got you something nice on that weekend. I think that's all she wants. She just wants attention in that way.